We're going to the vets.
Let's backtrack a little. So about a month ago, I built Reggie his very own Golden Gate Bridge. I put it on YouTube and overnight it just kinda blew up. I posted it to Reddit where it received 5 times Reddit Gold, and more than just the actual video or the bridge itself, everyone seemed to love Reg. All of a sudden we had tons of emails from different newspapers and websites wanting to write articles about him. And then the story was published by 30 or 40 different news sources all around the world, including San Francisco local paper, the SF Gate. It was incredible, it didn't seem real. And what was probably my favourite part of the whole thing was that several people commented to tell me that they also had cats named Reggie. This is Reggie from Texas, and he's ginger just like you. But I guess it all must have gone to his head or something, because soon afterwards, Reggie got in a fight. It was the exact same premise as when he'd originally fallen. It was 6 AM and I was woken up by the sound of him meowing. But this time he was meowing constantly, sat outside the back door and refusing to use his cat flap. And when I opened the door to let him in, he couldn't seem to walk properly, and it was clear he was in a lot of pain. I checked him over and found a small wound on his back about the size of a 5p coin. Now let me introduce you to what I like to call the Reggie likey scale. It shows how much Reg likes me at certain points in time. For example, this first bar represents a sort of baseline, his feelings towards me over the past few years in general. The second bar sees a bit of an increase. This is when I built him the bridge. And then this final bar, well, this is what I was talking about. The exact moment he saw his cat carrier and realised I was about to take him to his least favourite place on the planet.
We're going to the vets.
Now then, Reggie, this won't hurt one bit.
They took him into another room, shaved him, and stuck a needle in the wound to drain the pus. I know, buddy, it's okay. But Reggie's day was only going to get worse. When we got him home, we had to put a cone on him and he wasn't allowed outside for an entire week. And then when he realised there was nothing he could do, came the sulking phase. He'd sit on the bed facing away from me, or just generally refusing to acknowledge me. Either that, or he'd sit in front of the cat flap, hoping that if he stared intently enough it would magically unlock. Surprisingly enough, the easiest part was giving him his medicine. I'd crush his antibiotic tablet, add his painkiller, and then mix it all in with this sort of yogurty cat treat. He liked it so much that he'd even licked the spoon clean. As the days passed, Reggie still couldn't get the hang of being in the cone. He'd run around bumping into things, like a baby elephant still trying to find its feet. And quite often he'd just freeze in position as if waiting for the cone to make the next move. What's wrong, Reg? I think we've broken him. The saddest part was watching him try to scratch and lick himself through the cone. He just couldn't seem to grasp that he was unable to. And he'd spend whole afternoons sat on the windowsill, staring longingly at his bridge, just wishing he could go outside. Ultimately, I think he was just bored and I felt really bad for him. There was only one thing I could do to cheer him up. Reggie! Joking aside, Reg must have been delighted when the week was finally up. Let's get this off you. There we go, that's better. Go on then, Reg. And he's off. And within minutes he was back to his usual self, even if he did have a rather unfashionable bald patch.